Hello, and welcome to 6DOF Reviews. I am Pete Austin, and today we are going on a journey through space and time. Except not time so much, just space. I just really wanted to say it like that as the introduction. Haha. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Ziggy's Cosmic Adventures. Now, I am a little bit late to the party. This released some weeks ago, and it snuck out with very little fanfare. Now, this is one of those games that I didn't expect much of, I didn't know much about, and to be honest with you, I picked it up intending to play it and not review it, and I thought, well, this is charming. This is just very nice. I played it, it took a number of hours, about 3 hours, I think, to get all the way through, and I had a great time during those 3 hours, so I thought, you know what? I know a few people who might like to know about my experience with Ziggy's Cosmic Adventures, and that's you. So, Ziggy's Cosmic Adventures, hereby known as Ziggy's for brevity, is a creative new approach to the time management genre, which many of you might know is a personal favorite of mine. It blends traditional time management gameplay with a space sim to create something that's really quite unique within the platform. So the player embodies a bounty hunter who steals a ship and with the help of a plucky AI companion escapes with precious cargo. That cargo is an adorable green lifeform named Ziggy, who just happens to be the answer to clean, renewable energy. Who knew? The story basically involves you trying to avoid capture and being forced to return Ziggy to the seemingly megalomaniacal galactic empress. Ooh. As the game unfolds, players will perform a number of simple missions ranging from escort-style affairs right up to navigating your ship through the heart of an exploding planet. That mission was cool, by the way. So the story is fairly shallow. It's a set of dialogue that merely serves to link a bunch of missions together and eventually ends really abruptly and quite unsatisfyingly. The campaign takes 2 to 3 hours to complete, but due to the branching nature of the levels, it would take 2 to 3 play sessions, or playthroughs rather, to experience all of the missions. So in total, you've got somewhere between 6 to 9 hours worth of gameplay to look forward to if you really enjoy it, but you can get start to finish with a very unsatisfactory ending in about 3 hours. So where Ziggy's really sets about being unique is the way it integrates simple space sim action with cockpit management. So the cockpit consists of a number of systems, each which must be powered by a battery. However, you don't have enough batteries to power everything at once, so you spend the entire game juggling your resources to best suit your situation. Batteries drain down over time, requiring them to be recharged at the expense of your little green companion. Ziggy is essentially juiced for energy to recharge your battery cells, and if you overdo it and juice Ziggy too hard, he dies. But you can, thankfully, just bioprint another one. But that all takes precious time. It's easier to continue with a single Ziggy and just keep juicing him and feeding him and juicing him and feeding him on repeat. However, occasionally situations will require that you have no choice but to just double, triple juice that Ziggy, and then he dead. So each of the systems within the cockpit affects a different element of space combat and will frequently get knocked out or get damaged. So small mini games that then need to be performed in order to get that system back online, all which must be carried out while you continue to fly the ship and evade hostile enemies. So think about it, you're flying the ship, pew pew, pew pew pew, and then suddenly your stabilizers are gone and you have to turn around so that you can't see the direction you're flying, and you have to match the wavelength and push in the thing and twist the other bit and then turn around and hope that you haven't veered too far off course. It's a great conceit that, if administered slightly better, would have been entirely wonderful. The actual space combat in Ziggy's feels sadly undercooked. The steering is basic and doesn't achieve a sense that you could really maneuver your way out of a situation. Star Wars Squadrons, this ain't. The combat is, again, basic. There's almost no variety in the enemy ships that pursue you, and they largely just float in front of you, waiting for you to blast them out of the sky. All of this feels deliberate and is probably because anything more substantial would be impossible to maintain at the same time as running the ship's systems, but it still feels like a swing and a miss to me. Similarly, the actual cockpit management is conceptually brilliant, but it's just not quite executed to its full potential. There never seems to be enough going on to make the resource management challenging. The systems largely run unhindered, batteries are easily recharged, and Ziggy-based energy is practically bottomless. The mechanics to reset the systems feel really broad at first, but after a short amount of time with the game, they do start to actually become repetitive. All that said, the bones of something really, really fun are still here, and despite being somewhat underwhelmed, I still had a great time playing through the entire campaign. The graphics and sound are both perfectly acceptable without being standout features. The cockpit looks great. It's joyfully tactile. The fact that everything is interactable is brilliant. There's no button pressing on your controller. All the switches and levers in the cockpit respond exactly as you would expect. The sound design complements this well, with everything inside the cockpit sounding crisp and satisfying as you flick your way through the various buttons and knobs and switches. Outside the cockpit, though, things seem a little less polished, with the vast expanse of space feeling a lot more like a painting that you're flying towards than an environment that you're actually inhabiting and flying through. The sound of your space battles are serviceable, however they lack the weight and gravitas that bigger budget space sims can provide. There is the standard pew pew and boom boom. It just feels a little underwhelming compared to what it could have been. So overall, Ziggy's Cosmic Adventure is a fun, creative approach to mashing up two genres that I never would have suspected go so well together. It may be a little simple in some elements, but its sense of character and unique approach to integrating time management elements with action gameplay is absolutely commendable. Not every game has to be Asgard's Wrath or Assassin's Creed, and sometimes, just sometimes, a charming, well-intentioned 6.5 out of 10 is exactly what the doctor ordered. Ziggy's Cosmic Adventures, 6.5. Better than that sounds. If you like this channel and would like to stay up to date with all the news, reviews, and interviews, click the subscribe button now.
Ziggy, you must be starving. It will sign a death warrant that we need more little friends. A new companion is in the ship. They're trying to lose us in the asteroid field. It will sign a death warrant that we can't hope to survive.